Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed is a spiritual crossing of the threshold to the world of being a truly expanded human being. Join mediums Cheryl and Kelly for conversations about discovering deep spirituality, developing your intuitive and empathic skills, and personal mediumship. Each episode will focus on tips, tools, and techniques to help you understand and expand your own inner gifts of life journey. Now, your host of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, Kelly and Cheryl.
Hey.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed. It's a wonderful day in California. We hope you're having a wonderful day where you are. I'm here, Cheryl Murphy, with my beautiful colleague, medium Kelly Eckhart. Kelly, how are you today? How are things going?
I'm great. It's a beautiful Wednesday, and I'm just happy to be here today. So thank you, Cheryl.
Oh,
And
you're
I just got
welcome.
back from vacation in Cancun, so I'm really jealous. I see you in a little bit of a tan.
Thank you. Yeah, I did a much needed break there, a much needed break with a dear friend.
Yeah,
Yes, so thank you very much. It was lovely. And
yeah.
good to be back. And yeah, just I recommend a vacation to everyone. So
Yes.
whatever you can.
I try to
Uh,
take them all the time.
yeah, just for a few days, even it helps.
Yeah, they'll get away.
Yeah.
Hello, Sarah and Anna and Anne Marie and Vivian and KB and Frank. And thank you, Frank, for he gave us a beautiful little sweet message. Thank
Oh,
you
thank you. You're welcome,
for happy
Frank.
to do that, Frank. We appreciate you, and thanks for watching us, guys, and showing up and being here for us. So we have somebody to talk to, huh?
And thank you to thank you to WLTKDB and Todd for putting on such a great platform for us, for really making us look good. So we really do appreciate all your efforts and your contribution as well.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
let's get on with our topic for today because we are going to be taking your calls later. But in the meantime, if you have a question, send us your email questions at seeingbeyondradio.com. And today's topic is called Let's Talk Spiritual Development. So today is all about you. It's all about spirit and you and how to develop that intuition and those six senses, those spidey senses, so to speak, but really how to open your hearts and let the spirit world come in to provide guidance for you, to provide messages of love and support. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Kelly, are you ready?
I am ready. And if you guys have questions, you're always welcome to email us. I will look at the email. I'm opening it up right now. You can also post in the comments and we can see them and we can highlight them here on the screen
Oh,
and
great.
answer them. Like questions about how to develop, or if you think you have gifts, like things like that. We'll get to readings later on in a little bit, but that's what we're focusing on right now. So if you're curious about your own development, or if you think you might have gifts or children's gifts or any kind of curiosity question, maybe like what happens after we die, any of that,
Mm,
please ask us in the comments. We love to answer questions and share our own insights,
mhm.
and hope that it helps others. Okay. So definitely use the comments, and we can see them all in here from YouTube, Facebook, and one other site. I forget which that is, but there's other sites that it's being posted on. So yeah, we can see them. Thank you.
Yeah, we love your participation, and this is your show, everyone. So type in if you have a question for us, leave it in the comments section, send us an email. We'll be taking your call shortly. But really, Kelly and I know our goal is to make life easier for you. Kelly and I have been studying and learning and experiencing the spirit world for several years or several lifetimes, even. So, any shortcuts, any tips we can share with you, it's really our joy to help empower you and show you that you are also a spiritual being, as we all are having this human experience. So everyone seems to be at a transformational time. If you haven't noticed, really the last few years, a lot of people have been waking up to their spiritual abilities. so many empaths, as we know. So if you feel that you're an empath, we'd love you to post a comment and let us know how you have been developing or opening up your intuitive gifts. So, Kelly, a common question I'd like to ask you about, if I may interview you for a moment. People always ask, what's the difference between a psychic and a medium?
It's a great word.
What's an empath? People are learning these terms for the first
Or
time.
clairvoyant or any.
Clairvoyant.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you my little speech because I remember I've had my gift my whole life. I really never put thought into the word psychic and medium. To me, they were the same word. It wasn't until
Agreed.
yeah, it wasn't until, like, I was going to get a psychic for my son because I felt like I needed some insight for him. He was 17 at the time, and I found a medium, but not realizing there was a difference, and I went to a demonstration, and I remember thinking, like, I had no idea what I was doing or where I was going or what I was gonna be doing. I didn't have a clue. I just thought I was gonna be in this room where this person was gonna give us readings. I mean, I didn't know. And so it was quite a fascinating experience to understand because as I was sitting in the audience, I was feeling all the spirits. That's how I kind of and she explained the difference. So one is mediumship is where we're connecting with the spirit world, and the psychic is where I'm connecting with the person sitting in front of me that's alive.
I
That's
love it.
what I like to explain to people. Very simple. Yeah, and, to me, though, they're both the same because the spirit still I'm still connected to a spirit body, and the physical one here that's sitting here that's alive, I'm still connected to that spirit body of that soul. It's just right in front of me.
So it's a soul to soul connection,
Yeah,
whether you're working with someone who is living, who is incarnate in the physical body, or someone who is in spirit. You're
right, yeah,
still connecting with your loved ones in the spirit world. So
yes,
if we just think about the soul, right? The soul is amazing, right? And as Gary Zukov says in The Seat of the Soul, because people will say, well, where is my soul? He would say, where is it not? It's everywhere. Your soul is everywhere.
we've got some questions here. Let me just show this one here.
Love
Anne
it.
Marie says, "How are you able to increase the ability to hear from spirit?" And I love that question because I'm always working on that myself. And for me, some of the things I do is I try to listen to sounds that I don't normally hear. Like when you're outside and there's traffic and there's cars honking and there's, an ambulance, like I just listen to see everything. I hear birds? I hear really focus on the sounds that you just ignore and
Mhm.
becoming more aware of them. And some of the other things I do is in music, I try to focus on one instrument the whole time and just really like tune my ear into that and imagine that I'm like that spirit, in a sense. But I'm just trying to fine tune my hearing to the sounds that we don't normally hear or we're not in tune to hear normally. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. What do you do, Cheryl?
Well, I love the listening to other sounds.
Mhm,
I always say close your eyes and see if you can pick up 3 sounds, like a dog barking or the traffic or the air conditioner on even. And I
mhm,
love your music example about listening to an instrument or even a piece of music you're not used to listening to,
right?
perhaps taking that time and listening to it. But it is about, connecting with the heart too, so I would just suggest to you, Anne, and everyone, it is about, like, opening up the hearing, using affirmations, which we'll get to in a moment, but also connecting with your heart, please, and setting that intention that you want to develop your clairaudience. You want to open up and ask the spirit world for help. "Help me listen more. Help me hear you. I'm here. I'm ready."
Exactly. It's setting that intention. That's like to me, that means so much in the spirit world when we're
Mhm.
telling them this is our rules, like this is how we want to work. You help, us and we will help you kind of thing. It's like we're all opening up to each other and allowing it to happen and not fighting it. I think my problem a lot of the times when it comes to the clairaudient is I doubt what I'm hearing,
Oh.
and or I'm not necessarily hearing it as clearly as I'd like to hear it. And I think that that has a lot to do with me being in my own mind, and I need
Yeah.
to make space for it.
I would absolutely agree with you there that, You know, it is a practice, right? It's a practice. So, we're always developing. And
Always.
the spirit world works with us differently. At times, they'll help us open up our clairaudience. At other times, they'll be helping us open up our clairvoyance.
Oh yeah.
And we'll talk about all of the clairs if we get to them today. But,
Yeah.
the spirit world is helping you. So it is about asking for help, as Kelly says, and trusting and having that faith that it's happening, even though you may not see it right away. Or one way to make it not work for you, right? We can talk about ways that where it won't work for you, and that is when we push too hard, or we want it so bad, or we're so hard on ourselves, aren't we?
It.
We're so hard on ourselves.
Or our mind gets involved and we put our own spin on it too much, which
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that. Like I think any medium is, but that's why I always tell people the no's are so important. They're
Uh-huh.
just as important for me as the yeses, because the no's let me know that, hey, I've put too much of my own spin on this. I need to go back to what did I really originally get and give it just like that. It is also a no is a clue that I've got another spirit maybe coming in. So I always tell people it's really important when you're getting a reading that use the words yes, no, I don't know, and you don't feed or give,
Mhm.
because it throws the medium off,
Right.
can mess up our connection sometimes.
Sure. And a note, when you're an audience member or you're a sitter, it's called a sitter or the recipient of a reading. And when you say no, yes, no, or I don't know, that's what we ask. No to a medium, it doesn't really mean the answer isn't really no. It just means maybe as a medium, I need to go a little bit deeper to get further understanding or interpretation.
Right?
Yeah. So it's okay to say no. It's kind of a halfway to yes, right?
Here's another great question, Cheryl, and we'll get a lot of questions now, so I'm just gonna post this one here from Frank. When we
Frank.
pass, what age are we in heaven?
Oh,
You wanna go first or you want me to go first? Because I have a good one for that one.
well, I feel, Frank, from my experience, and I know Kelly's got a great answer coming up. I don't know what it is yet, but I can feel it. What I understand from the spirit world is we go back to a time in our life when we were happiest or when we enjoyed living. It might be in our 30s, it might be 39, it might be 29, it might be different ages, that we are still experiencing in the spirit world. But in general, I do believe that we probably go back to the time we're most happy or healthy, feeling fit, that type of
That's
loving life. Do you agree, Kelly? Or
agree, and I can just say that, I know this for me personally, because I remember being in the spirit world for 13 years, and the whole 13 years, I was a three-year-old because
Mm.
I think I love being 3, and I love three-year-olds still to this day. I think that's, like, the best
Aw.
age ever, and so I know that immediately after I died in my last life, I was in the spirit world, and I was a three-year-old child, and I was watching my mother give birth, so I know that that's what I chose.
Mhm.
A lot of times during readings, spirit often shows me at a time when they looked really great in their life
Right.
and when they felt great. And sometimes my sitter's like, "No, no, no, my mom was much older." I'll get the feeling that they were older, but I'm seeing this beautiful, vivacious
Mhm.
soul.
Mhm.
And so then I'm like, "Well, your mom was obviously beautiful when she was younger, or your dad or your grandparent, you know?" And they're like, "Yes." And they're proud of that time. Yeah.
So it's a great question, Frank, and thank you for asking that.
Yeah, and then another one here, actually hearing the voices, and then I think she wrote further down, maybe not, something else. But so Anna says she actually so here's the thing. I heard voices my whole life growing up. And I knew it was spirit, and it kind of because nobody taught me. I think as a child, I would listen and I would sometimes get afraid. But I have to say, a lot of times I listened to those voices. Like when I was driving, I would hear change lanes right now, slow down. I mean, I would hear these in my head like somebody was sitting in the car, kind of
Yeah.
tripped me out. But I would listen and I would avoid a car accident or I would avoid getting a speeding ticket because I slowed down. And the times that I was told to slow down and I ignored that voice, I got a speeding ticket. So
Mm.
sometimes spirit does, I do hear them that way. But when I'm doing a reading and I sit down and I'm focused on it, I think I'm too focused on my clairaudient. But
Mhm.
when I'm not focused on it, I hear them clear as day, and they're very loud in my head sometimes. So, you probably have the gift, and you can teach yourself to, shut it down if you want, and put a little cap on it and use it whenever you want it, or you can open up and really embrace it and learn how to manage it and you be in charge of it so it's not happening when you don't want it to. That makes sense. What about you, Cheryl?
I just think it's exciting, our conversation today. But I do wanna say that,
Hearing
I
voices.
what's that?
So we're talking about hearing voices and
I
we're
know.
crazy.
Well, I know I was coming home on a busy, California traffic, right, and the highway, and I was coming home and I had to go over like this mountain pass, and there was an accident over the pass. I couldn't see it from where my view because I was going up the mountain, but I heard my father say, "Slow down, there's an accident ahead," right? And
Mhm,
I feel like I know my father's voice pretty well because he does sound the same to me as he did when he was living.
mhm, mhm.
And I certainly did slow down. I mean, what is it gonna hurt, right? You just trust it, and I started slowing down. Sure enough, right over the hill, there were lights flashing and an ambulance and, traffic slowed down. So, I mean, I always remember that story and I share it because it is about trusting and listening because it's as if it wasn't even a thought I was thinking, right? It just kind of a thought that came in.
Absolutely. And it was like, I've heard my son when I was very distraught shortly after he passed, I was doing a mediumship event with Mavis on
Oh,
the Queen Mary,
oh,
and I got too emotional in the development circle and went to my room and was crying hysterically, and I couldn't stop because I was grieving, and I'm in the dark, in a dark room on the Queen Mary, and it was a suite, it was a big room, and I hear, "Mom, stop!" so loud in my son's voice. Talk about, like, stopping my crying dead, like, I was like, "What the heck just happened?" Turned
mhm.
on all the lights, knew it was my son. I heard him in my head after that, but he had to get my attention, and it was so clear, but I did pack up and go home.
You did.
I
Okay.
wasn't going to sleep in that
Well, that's what they say about the Queen Mary, for everyone who hasn't been on the Queen Mary yet in Long Beach,
it
that
was
they're the older rooms are,
there's a lot of
there's
energy.
activity.
There was a lot of activity, and the fact that my son spoke to me so clearly was amazing, but at the same time frightened me, and I don't know
Yeah,
why. I
yeah,
just think I wasn't ready.
yeah,
If it would happen now, I'd be like, "Alright, let's talk." But I
right.
was knee deep in my grief. He had just passed shortly before that,
Oh,
so
yeah, of
and
course.
and I was very wide open and so overwhelmed by it. It was, overwhelming and frightening a little bit, but yeah, I hear them all the time, spirit.
And
Um,
it's a good point to bring up, Kelly, because we are mediums and we're very sensitive and we still grieve, right? We grieve, just like everyone else. We are part
yeah,
of this human experience. So, I mean, if anything, we are very sensitive. But yes, we do definitely miss our loved ones just as much.
yeah. Well, here's another great question, and you do more healing work, don't you, Cheryl?
I do more healing work.
So maybe you can answer this
Oh,
for her because I love healing, but I don't
mhm.
do healing work other than mediumship.
Yeah. So, Vivian's asking, how can I strengthen my healing energy to send over long distances? My first suggestion would be once again, set your intention. I would always imagine seeing the person you're working on. First off, you want to get their permission as well to work with them. And then I would imagine them or visualize them in perfect health and thriving and vibrant. I like to use the colors of white or pink, and I imagine and visualize circling them with those colors of white and or pink for healing. You can also use green. It's a wonderful healing color. And if you have any other color, it's whatever you're drawn to at that time. When I do my healing work, my energy work for people, I work with them for 24 hours actually. But I set the intention to start with them in the evening while they're sleeping. And then in the next morning, I sit back in meditation and I work again. And then we do a follow up phone call afterwards so I can check in with them and see what they experienced or what they felt. But how can strengthen that is really through practice. You may ask them if they can validate feeling something different, when you begin your healing work, ask them if they're feeling it or experiencing it, and maybe where in the body or where in the energy field they are feeling, and what does it feel like? Does it feel light and beautiful and healing? Because that's the general energy of it. And finally, I always suggest to people, please, if you guys know me, and you do, always drink an extra glass or two of water a day. Water is a very good healing modality, by the way. It's very, very healing to drink water.
Yes, I'm always telling people that. So, Cheryl, what about sitting in the power? Because that helps strengthen our mediumship connection.
Yeah.
Does that help with healing as well? If you're sitting in the power, just really building your power?
I do think sitting in the power helps with everything. It certainly helps with your mediumship ability to connect with the spirit world and bring through messages from your loved ones. But it does help empower you because you do experience the feeling of sitting with the spirit world and sitting with your own energy too.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that, when I started sitting in the power in the beginning, it was such a huge shift in my work to the point of I no longer felt like after I started doing that I needed to sit and meditate for an hour before a reading. I felt like I could show up for my reading and be ready to read after that. And then I sit in the power. I don't do it every day, but I do try to sit in the power, once or twice a week now. And I do my own
Mhm.
little I call mini meditations.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And whenever I feel my energy dropping, that's when I sit in the power now.
That's wonderful. And for those who haven't heard of sitting in the power before, it's about sitting in the presence of the spirit world. It's not really connecting to any one spirit, but you're sitting for the practice of sitting for yourself and sitting with the spirit world as a whole, for example.
Yeah.
So you're actually feeling the building of the energy, and
And
that's a
it is
beautiful thing.
amazing. I know in the beginning I thought this is insane. Nothing's happening
Yeah.
because I was in my head. It's really about developing enough, what do you call that? Like strength to kind of shut down your mind almost and just
Mm.
surrender 100% to the spirit world. And you're not doing anything but just connecting and learning to stay in that connection, right?
Absolutely. And mediumship, the type of mediumship that Kelly and I do is called mental mediumship because there are different types of mediumship. There's trance mediumship, there's physical mediumship where things may move. But mental mediumship, it's funny because it has to do with it's a mind to mind connection, but yet our mind is not involved. So it's very different. It's about maybe quieting the mind or giving it a rest, giving it a break, and allowing that creativity and that imagination, that right brain of intuition to be your guide.
I always say that I like to be out of my mind for this work.
Are you out of your mind? Oh my
Because you
gosh.
kind of, that's what you're doing, you're stepping back, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like my students will be like, "I feel like I'm making this up, and I feel like this is like, if I'm being creative, if I'm really getting in spirit." And I always say, "Why do you think children are so open? Because they're so creative, they're so ready to just have that imagination to allow spirit to come through."
Mhm.
Spirit, children get the most amazing things from the spirit world. And us adults, like we get in our mind going, well, that's just, our imagination. Well, that's kind of spirit uses our imagination. I mean, it feels like that, but it is in a sense because they're using it, right?
Right, and I love the children, example because children, they're so open and innocent and just beautiful beings, and what comes out of their mouths is amazing. I like to call them little Buddhas walking around because they're
Right.
just so wise, what
They
they
are, I know. It's
say.
crazy. Like you'll be like, oh, like my husband and I, when Aiden was little, we'd be talking about like employees or something, that we need to make a decision on, and we couldn't understand like why they did this or why they did that. And Aiden would just blurt out the answer, and we're like, oh my God, like he was right. Like, but we couldn't go there like in our mind. So,
It's the simplicity, the
yes.
simple truth. So, Kelly, let's take a moment and just say hi to some people in our comments
Yeah.
section.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. So we have a lot of more questions too. So thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
But
And I just want to say hi to Barbara and Vivian and Sherry, just a few of you, but so many of you are joining us more and more each week. And we love having everyone on our program today. So thank you for this. I hope you're enjoying it. Please let us know. And thank you for all your questions. These are fabulous questions.
yes, yes. And we have so many. I'm like trying to go through. I know we can't get to them all. Um, let's see. This is a really good one. It kind of touched my heart when I saw this one. So it says, when you are sad, does the spirits try to help you not be sad for them? In my opinion, they do. But you have to be open to it. What about you, Cheryl?
I do agree that the spirit world is always there supporting you and loving you and not wanting you to be sad, but they certainly understand and respect your experience. But yes, they are trying to help you not be sad for them because they are fine. They when they step over, they are free of pain. They're free of discomfort. They are in much more of joy and fulfillment. They are fine. So they are fine over there.
Yeah, they are. You know, after, RJ passed, I would go to the crystal store every morning, like 2 hours early, and I would just sit and I would meditate
Hmm.
for like over an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. I mean, deep meditations, because I just wanted to feel my son. And I always believe that he was coming to me as Archangel Michael, because that's his middle name. And it was my son's face and he was a blue angel, but he had a hoodie on, and he would wrap me in the wings.
Hmm.
And I would just feel this amazing, like, vibrating energy going through my whole body. Um, and I just didn't want to come out of this. I believe I was in a trance because I was by myself most of the time. But it was probably the most healing thing ever, in addition to the dreams. So he did come right away to help me. I was open to it. Thankfully, I was, really into my spirituality, which I think saved me through my grief. I can see, though, if I didn't have my belief, how I could have fought that and made it fearful or been scared or.
Mhm. And, when sometimes people will get on the path in their life when they have a loved one pass. So, however it is that you get on your path, Kelly, or how I got on my path, we do work with a lot of people who step onto the spiritual path, asking those questions, wanting to find those answers. Where did you go? Where did my loved one go? Are they okay? Do they know we still love them? Do they know I'm thinking about them all the time? And yes to all those questions. But that does, however you get on your path and whatever age you are stepping onto the path, it is the perfect time and it's certainly divinely orchestrated.
Yeah, it is. It is. Um, let's see. Do we see any more good questions, Cheryl?
Oh, yes, there are some great questions. Great questions. Yes. I know just to tell you, Anna is just saying that she loves mediums and their gifts. And Anna, not everyone really has to be a medium or a psychic. Some people just like going to a psychic or a medium to connect, and that's perfectly okay. I always want to tell people just being around someone with higher frequency, because we do raise our vibration through meditation and sitting in the power and with spirit. That may be enough to help you feel better, right? Just that's when you do know you're connecting with the spirit world too. Is when you do feel that that opening up of the heart, when you feel more relaxed. That is your energy. That's your natural state. That is your natural joy, your natural love, that you are raising your vibration.
And I
So
love
thank
that.
you,
I do
Anna.
love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, would you like to try to do some readings now? What would you like to do, Cheryl?
Yeah, I do want to step into a reading or two, and then maybe if people still have questions, or we'll check the emails to see if any questions or what questions came through that we want to answer.
Yeah.
But yes.
So, if we could post the link for them to join us, that would be great. And here's a great question. Our pets can often help us vibrate at a higher frequency. Yes, that's why I have 3 dogs, 4 cats. And yeah, exactly.
Kelly, I bet you're one of those people that animals just love coming up to. You know how some people just animals are, they know you're one of them, like they know you're going to love them, and you're probably one of those people, right? You're an animal communicator too, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, animals do help us raise our vibration. They are really pure unconditional love.
Well, and I think animals are so good for so many things. They're natural healers.
Mm.
They know when we're sad, and they know what we need, and they come to give us love when we need it. They come to give us company when we need it. They are amazing. I always say that I couldn't have got through my grief without my spirituality and my dogs,
Aw.
because my one Daisy, she was at my side constantly and never left my side. So I see Kit is here in the waiting to come on for a reading, but your devices aren't connected, so you need to connect your video and your sound, please. If you could do that, then we could bring you on. And anybody else, make sure that you have that.
Okay, we're just
I'm reading the comments.
yeah, Anna.
I'm going to put the link here for everybody.
Oh, good. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, so they can come on, and anybody that wants to join us. Vivian's on. Let's see.
Honestly, Kelly, I don't know what I'd do without you, just to tell you. It's like you were just.
And Anna said she can't come on because it's long distance, but Anna, it's not a phone call, it's a website. So
And
if you would like to click on the link in the Facebook comments, you can join us back here. You pick, Cheryl. Who would you like? Can you see the people?
Hi, how about Maria? Because I can see Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Cheryl. Who would you like? Can you see the people? Oh,
Hi, how about Maria? Because I can see Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Cheryl. Can you turn your sound off on whatever you're listening to us on, please, Maria?
Oh my gosh.
Your sound off on whatever
Okay.
you're listening to us on, please, Maria?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I'm just going to mute her till she figures that out.
Okay.
Nope. So you have to shut down the Facebook page, Maria. Oh, we lost her. Okay. So let's see if Vivian can come
Yeah,
on.
I was just going to go there too.
Hi, Vivian. Can you hear us?
Just want to say hi to Dupra and Anna.
So we will put her back in the waiting room. Are you there, Vivian?
Yes, I am. Hello,
there
ladies.
you go. Hello.
Aloha.
Aloha, that's right. Vivian, you were so kind. She sent me such a sweet message today. Thank you. That was so sweet.
You're welcome. And I'm going to work on my skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Please send healing.
So how can we help you today? What kind of reading would you like, Vivian?
I'm just so thrilled that I got chosen. I'm kind of I don't know what to say. I guess one thing I could say, and Cheryl was present for this, but my father came through. He passed away back in 2013, and today is his birthday. And I did get a message yesterday that that he loved me very much. In our family we didn't really say those things very much, just culturally it wasn't. But I guess I'd like to find out how he's doing, and like what does he see for me, because yeah, I'm not quite sure how to move forward all the time. So just if he speaks up.
So can I go, Cheryl?
Yeah, please go ahead, Kel.
So Vivian, I immediately get your dad was more of a deep thinker, and
Yes.
and there was a lot of he had a big heart, like he had a lot of love, but like you said, he didn't always verbalize what he was or express what he was feeling, but you knew. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I want to say that he had healing eyes. His eyes could just like relax you or calm you. There's something about him. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
And your dad was you're a lot like him, I have to say. I think that your dad, if he had ever embraced it, he himself was a healer. And
Yes.
but instead of embracing it, he was more of like he liked to have that boundary between him and all of the other people, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes,
he was more
absolutely.
reserved because he didn't wanna open up because he felt too much. Your dad's a beautiful soul. I feel like he's very proud of you. I feel like he's honored that you are following your passions. I also feel like, you know, he was a good dad. Like, he had a good sense about him. Like, he was there for family no matter what, and
Yes.
he didn't raise I don't feel like he raised his temper, like, he didn't get mad. I feel like he was always stayed calm. Do you understand that?
Yes and no. I think when I was a kid, he would lose his temper a lot more, but as an adult, yes, I would say that
Yeah, I
he
think
was
this is
very
more like
calm.
as an adult, like, you could talk to him about things and he wasn't going to flip out on you,
Right.
you know?
Absolutely.
And he feels like he might have been judgmental, but he kept it to himself.
Yes. Yes.
He knew his place in that sense. Like, it wasn't his opinion wasn't like whether he thought it was like he was gonna let people, figure things out on their own.
Right. Right.
And
Yes.
and I do feel like he's a strong guide in your life right now. I do feel like he comes to help you work as well, and I feel like he brings you people that he knows that are for you, you know?
Yeah, I think, yeah, what you're saying is amazing because there are people coming into my life now that I never expected who are interested in what I want to do in the future. Um, Kelly, I have to take this opportunity to tell you that you have truly changed my life because I think this was maybe 2, 3 years ago. It was a Mother's Day event. And you
2020.
yes, and you happened to gift a reading to me, but
Oh,
um the reason I want to bring this up now is that I had several miscarriages, and so for the longest time I just couldn't let go, of why did that happen, why, fortunately
yeah,
I do have one very healthy daughter who is a veterinarian now, but
yeah.
I think reading about you and also Cheryl in the book The Last Breath, which was like still my number one book. I
Oh,
love going back and reading it because the chapters are short but very moving and touching. So I want to thank both of you. I am in Cheryl's prayer group and I try to be there as often as I can, but it is very powerful because, we all come together with a goal of supporting each other in the world.
yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much to both of you. And thank you, Kelly, for the messages about my father. You're absolutely spot on. And I do feel like he's like supporting me and saying, come on, go on, you can do this.
Yeah, he's proud. He's very proud. You
Well,
know, a lot of things he didn't say in life, I feel like he wishes he could have said them.
mm,
Like, he regrets that. Like, that's why I feel like he's gonna come through and say all the things that he never did in life.
yes, yes, very true.
But it was just the way he was raised.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was just the way he was raised. And
yeah,
I find sometimes because we had similar interests that, in some ways I am doing the things that he wished that he could have done. And I'm interested in the same things. So I find myself kind of pursuing those things, not for him necessarily, but because I want to. And he's kind of saying, you can do this, you can do this.
exactly. Because he would have liked to have done it in life, and he knows that you're like him, and he's proud of that, and that's why I think he encourages you and he brings you opportunities.
I see. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the reading. And thank you both for
You're
having
welcome.
supported me, over the last few years, just in ways that you might not even imagine, but it has been just amazing.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
thank you both.
Yeah,
Well,
you're welcome.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks, Vivian. You're very sweet.
thank you. And I know you're going to step into more healing work. That's for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
again, and
beautiful.
aloha from
Aloha.
Hawaii.
Aloha, yes. All right, I'm gonna put you back in the backstage, I guess. And I think here we go.
Thanks, Kelly.
Cool. You pick the next person, Cheryl.
Well, is Maria still with us, or I don't know? Can we
I
try
think
Maria
she
again?
came
Because we,
back. She didn't come back. Oh wait,
uh,
no, that's Ariel.
I can't
We
really see below my
have
screen
Sid,
there.
Frank, Sis, Anna, Anne Marie, and Ariel.
May we try Ariel G? Ariel G.
Hello, Ariel.
Hi, how are you?
We're great. How are you? How can we help you today?
Hi, yeah, I have never heard from a grandma on the other side.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Maria's back too, Cheryl, so we'll get her now.
Oh, Maria, we want to get you back in for sure.
So a grandmother from the other side. Is this grandmother on mother's side?
I do have one on mother's side
But
and on
that's
father's
heard
side.
from that one, but the one you haven't heard from is on dad's side then?
Yes,
Okay. And let me just ask you this. Would you understand you didn't know her as well?
correct.
Because I feel like if I'm connecting with the grandma on dad's side, there was something about her either dying a long time ago, like her, like either when you were very young or you just, there's something strange about her connection to the family as well.
Yes,
It's
all makes
almost
sense.
estranged in some ways.
Yes.
Okay. Because I do feel like she does come around, but you wouldn't recognize her because you didn't know her that well.
Yeah.
So I think I almost feel like you've thought she was somebody else coming through before, is what she's saying.
Oh,
But she has come through. And I do feel like, did she have some issues or do you know things about her? Like, was she, did she have problems or issues with depression?
I've heard, yes.
Okay, so then I am connecting with her. I do feel like there's very few things that you would know about her or that your
Correct.
dad would talk about her because I think his relationship with her was difficult. Do you
Yes.
understand this? She's in a beautiful place. She's at peace now.
Okay.
And I do feel like she connects with you quite often. I feel like she comes through to you in dreams a lot, but also just in a voice in your head because
Hmm.
she's more of a guide for you. Now, did she pass before you were born, or were you like a small child when she passed?
Yeah, I was young.
Like under 5?
I don't think so.
You were older?
Yes.
Okay. I just feel like there's a strong, like almost like she guides you or tries to help you.
Okay.
And know that she's in a peaceful place and she's found her own peace in life because I think part of her issues was your dad did he have siblings that like that passed away or did she lose a late term miscarriage or an infant?
I wouldn't know. All I know is that both are living, but I wouldn't know if she had any trouble
Yeah,
before or during.
I feel that there was a sadness deep in her heart,
Mm.
in life,
Hmm.
and she struggled with staying happy and finding peace with things that had happened in her life.
That makes sense as to what I've heard about her.
Yeah, and so she's made peace now. She's in a good place
Okay.
and she's made amends because I also feel like there was difficult relations with her own parents.
Wow.
And so they're at peace now, all of them together, is what I'm hearing. There's been a lot of
Okay.
on the other side, and she wants to send love to your dad. And was it your dad's birthday last month or this?
August.
So what
It's
was that?
my birthday this month.
Okay, so that's fine then. She's
Okay.
acknowledging birthdays, okay?
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
I want to go back and I feel like something recent. So perfect. So she's just like always around and
That's
especially
nice.
around you, she connects with you a lot. Do you get anything, Cheryl?
Is there some way, Ariel, that you've been told you look like her or there's a resemblance?
Not that I've been told.
Okay. I want to say, but do you have a photo of her?
I do have a photo of her.
Yeah. Because I feel like when we talk about her depression, it feels like she was misunderstood
Mhm.
and that life was complicated for her. I
Yes.
think life was hard for her here actually to understand things, you know? So it was hard for her to adjust to the physical world or the physical planet, is what I feel with her. But she does feel very childlike with you, meaning that she's looking over you and supporting you. And she gave me the sign of marbles or coming through or sending you marbles. So if you would just keep your eye out or in the next few days and see if you don't see a marble or a handful of marbles, because that's what happens is the spirit world sends us signs. And even though maybe if we don't understand them yet, we may see them in the next day or two, or even for example, for me, I got a sign from my guides, and then that evening, I got it was a yellow daisy. It was a yellow daisy. They said, look out for yellow daisy. And then later that evening, I saw a yellow daisy. It was
Oh, I
amazing.
love it. I love that.
Mm,
Yeah,
So just keep a lookout. But you're very intuitive. And so I do believe she's around you. I believe that there's
okay.
some connection that the two of you are making.
That I would have never guessed, but it kind of makes sense now.
yeah. She keeps telling me like, "Oh, I've come through," but she thinks I'm somebody else.
Okay. Okay.
So she's
I'll
tried.
keep a lookout then next time
Yeah,
I feel anything.
yeah. Well, she's very connected to you. It's like a heart to heart connection.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like her and I would have had a lot in common,
Yeah.
but never had the chance to ever build anything.
Yeah. Well,
So that makes sense.
I'm glad we brought her through.
Yes, thank you.
You said
That's a
your
huge
birthday.
weight off my shoulders.
You said your birthday is this month.
Yes,
Are you a Libra?
Scorpio.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
you just
You're a
missed the best
Scorpio.
sign ever.
Yeah, I'm enjoying Libra season. I'm not, I love Scorpio, but like, it's been so light and airy and now it's about to like all change.
Right? I'm a Libra, so I always say that's the best sign ever. All right. Well, have a wonderful day. I'm gonna put you back
Thanks.
in the
You
back
guys too.
thing here, the back studio.
Thank you,
Okay,
Ariel.
thanks.
Bye. So if you already got a reading, I think if you exit out, then other people can get in because it only lets 10 people in at a time. And then
Mm.
you can watch us from, one of the other venues like Facebook or YouTube or something. Thank you guys. And where did Maria go?
Yeah, can we try Maria, please?
Hi.
Hi, how are
Oh,
you?
much better. Now I know you, Maria. Oh, you sound familiar now. I feel your
Yes,
energy. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. And I'm always at your healing prayers Sunday,
Oh,
so I love it.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad we can do that for you. And what kind of question do you have for us today?
I wanted to do a psychic question about
Oh,
love.
love,
Um,
love.
I believe I've manifested my twin flame soulmate person, and we're at a distance right now. And so far, we come to each other in dreams, and I get signs and synchronicities in music. I see his name a lot,
Oh,
and it might like Kelly was saying, because I don't know if I'm doubting my abilities or if I'm putting too much into it, you know. So I wanted to just get confirmation, and his name is Aaron.
Well,
And
yeah, I do feel that attraction, Maria, and I felt resistance. There's some resistance around this.
fear.
Does that make sense? Fear? Yeah.
yes,
There's definitely resistance. The reason why it's not happening, it's like two opposites attracting, but then there's this static or something where they can't get through. It's like a lot of noise. And
mm,
I wouldn't be hard on yourself, Maria. Absolutely not. And this is a safe, no judgment zone. It's all about we can't judge ourselves or anything because what I'm hearing from spirit is that it's all about divine timing. So sometimes we have to trust, like, you know what? I do feel that that's the person for you, or I do feel there's a connection there. I'll just say that. But sometimes when it's not working on Earth time, our time, it can definitely get frustrating, and we don't like that. We don't like that because we know we want everything quick. But there is something about it working better for you, and I almost feel that there's resistance on your part, but I'm also hearing he's not ready either. So there is something about, and I don't want to ever tell you to wait. I don't really want the energy of waiting around you. I would just say, continue living your life, sending, beautiful energy out into the universe, asking to attract all the people for your highest good in your life, all that can best serve you and that you can help. And then see how that unfolds for you.
Okay.
But that resistance, that fear, sometimes fear is fear. We know fear is false evidence appearing real.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it can also be a message about not being hard on yourselves because of that either, because there is a learning happening at the same time, if you understand that.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of active healing, and I mean, yeah, it's a lot of past residue. So I know when I clear that out, I always get the message, like you said, divine timing. Just let it play out, right? Yeah.
Divine timing. And then it's always sometimes, most of the time, it's always better than what we imagined it to be too. It's
Yeah.
almost like that and more, it's like this and more. Oh my gosh, So Kelly, do you want to add to that, please?
Well, I got the same thing about Aaron. It's Aaron, right?
Yes.
He's just not quite ready yet either, or he's a bit fearful of it all. It's almost like it's the right thing, but the timing's wrong. But that doesn't mean it won't add up or work out eventually. Sometimes, we have these connections and they're amazing, but it's just not the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because I've gone through that in my own life. So, I wasn't quite ready the first time, and I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then my husband now, I was 37, so 20 years later.
Yeah.
He's exactly like my first love, but there's differences. He's mature and ready, and I was too. So I think it just depends on where everybody's at in their life. But I say just embrace the good feelings that you're getting from it and take all the good things from it, and just keep allowing things to flow the way that they are, because I do feel like you're heading in the right direction.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're definitely on a new beginning path. You're on a path of new beginnings, is what I meant to say. And fear, sometimes you can befriend fear and say, "Hello, fear.
Right.
What is it that you want to teach me? I see you there,
Yes.
not giving me the EBGBs and and it's frustrating, but what is it that you're there to teach me?" And just be
Correct.
open to that, and then maybe that will, just the acknowledging of that you even have that, Maria, is transformative. It really is. Just acknowledging that we are where we are,
Mm-hmm.
that alone is transformative. And because it shifts the energy, it's something new for you. And maybe it's about, hey, maybe the fear is just there to, as Kelly and I said, it's divine timing. Maybe the fear is there because you're asking for other dreams to come true too, and
Yeah.
perhaps the universe is helping you with those too.
Correct.
Also, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
you need to ground a little bit more. You're always also very much in your, like, kind of in the spirit world, I want to
Airy
say.
fairy. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good, but you got to sometimes make sure you plant those feet here.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can
Thank
feel
you.
you're very raised, like your energy's so high. So I
It
don't know
is.
if you're forgetful sometimes or clumsy, because that's
Yeah.
what it does. 'Cause I get there too sometimes, a lot, and I have to like bring myself back down because it's a great place to be. My husband always says, "Can you come back to earth, honey?" You're always in that like fantasy world of yours. And I
Right.
say, "But why?"
Because it's so delicious. It's so nice.
I
Delicious.
know.
Sure.
So it is
It's
fun, but
good
we do.
feelings.
I feel like sometimes you need to plant your feet a little bit harder. That's all I
Okay.
feel. But
And
yeah,
that,
you're a beautiful soul.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
All right,
thank
I'm gonna
you, Maria.
put in the backstage there, and thank you. Bye. So you know what? Kit's been waiting a while. Let's bring her
Okay.
in. Hi, Kit.
Hi there.
Is this Kit from Sacramento?
From where?
Sacramento?
No, I'm from Palmdale, actually.
Okay,
Oh,
Kit.
hi, Kit from
Carol's
Palmdale.
hometown.
We couldn't
Hi.
see your face, so I just was wondering.
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to get that camera to work, but one of these days it's gonna work.
Yeah. No, you're good. How
So,
can we help you?
well, there is I do have a personal question, but I have a general question. Me and a few other ladies here We've had experiences where we can hear muffled voices, but we're all alone. And we're wondering, is that somebody trying to contact us? What's going on there?
I would say yes, but it's also possible that you're overhearing your neighbors maybe. I can't say because I don't know what your living environment it is, but it can sound muffled for me at
Okay.
times, and I have to look around the room, especially late at night when I'm like just falling asleep. I'll hear what sounds like muffled voices.
Okay, I can identify with that too. So yeah, I'm all alone in my house and I hear these muffled voices.
So
So
I would say maybe take a moment when you do that and sit quietly and try to go into a meditation and just sort of breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth and just kind of relax the whole body and really
okay.
focus, hyper focus on what you're hearing. And if it's spirit, just ask them to come as close as possible to you and tell them you're listening and see what
Okay.
happens. You never know.
Okay.
Might get an interesting conversation.
Hey, why not?
What
I
about you, Cheryl?
I,
Go
I
ahead.
agree what Kelly said, because it's almost as if your clairaudience is being opened up, or you're hearing some, but not all of it. So you could ask the spirit world, yeah, thank you. You could ask the spirit world, hey, you sound kind of muffled. Can you guys help me? I'm really trying to be more clear. You can ask them for help. Like, please help me hear you clearly. I really want to hear you clearly. I'll do my best, but let me relax into it, because the more relaxed we are and we allow it to happen, and the more we're not pressuring ourselves to make it happen. But as Kelly mentioned, a nice meditative state, or if you're with your friends and they're hearing it too, maybe sit as that group and
Yes,
asking that
energy.
spirit. A group energy absolutely is exponentially powerful. And maybe having a pen and tablet, maybe somebody writes down something, or you can have a voice recorder there
Yes.
to see if that happens. Or, and you might just hear a little blurb, or you might hear a word. And believe me, that is a miracle, or that is incredible. So take the little steps, but definitely ask spirit to be more clear. Ask yourself, how can I open up my ability to hear more? How can I be a better, spirit listener for the spirit world? How can I open up my clairaudience? Because that is the invitation for the spirit world to say, hey, she's asking us for help. Let's go help Kit and all the others.
I love that, Cheryl. I love that. And here, I'm going to unmute you now. Oops, I muted you again. Sorry. Can you hear me, Kit?
Yes, just
I hope
fine.
that wasn't, we just muted you because there's some static coming on your end.
Oh, sorry.
That's it.
Okay, well, let me test my intuitive abilities, and I'm going to ask you ladies a question, and I'm just curious what you would say, and I just want to compare what I'm thinking in my head to what you ladies are picking up. So I have two old friends that I had a falling out with um, years ago. So one lives in Portland, and the other one lives in Michigan. And I was wondering if either of them would welcome hearing from me.
I immediately feel the one in Portland would, and that the one in Michigan might. She's on the fence.
Okay.
That's what I get. What about you, Cheryl?
Well, we have to first acknowledge, if we can put Kit on mute for a moment,
Yes,
Kelly, I was
thank
thinks I was trying to get her,
you.
just because of that static, Kit. Sorry. So I do feel that they're open for an exchange, but I almost want to say, Kit, your energy is quite open. Like, you have had spiritual awakenings. Your vibration is riding high. So just to let you know, like, you're very much an aware person, and you're probably an empath. So you could be picking up on their energy without even talking to them. So I always say, trust your intuition. I do agree with Kelly that they most likely will want to kind of make a truce or circle back around. I can agree with one of them might being on the fence, but I do believe you putting your best foot forward, or you initiating the contact. But it's definitely worth it, because I do feel like it's almost like it's been so long. It's been long enough, right?
Yeah. And Kit, I just unmuted you. I also get that the one in Michigan, she's changed a lot. She's not the
Oh
same person
yeah.
she was, but the
Mhm.
one in Portland hasn't changed much. So I don't know if that helps.
It
I'm
does.
it's the opposite way. I'm sorry. Portland's changed. Michigan hasn't changed. Sorry, I flipped that around.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I think.
is the reason why the Michigan one's so distant because of differences in political and religious views
Yeah, she
with each
hasn't
other?
changed much. She's not open. Whereas the
Okay.
Portland one's a lot
Need to-
more open. Yeah, we've got to mute you. I'm sorry, Kit. It's
Okay,
very
I understand.
okay, but I hope that helped. Let us know in the comments, okay? Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm just gonna put her back.
Thanks, Kit. We just had to keep you
That-
on mute for the reverb.
Yeah, so Cheryl.
Well, if I can just, we've been talking about clairaudience a lot, just to take a moment. And
Yeah.
for everyone who wants to open up their clairaudience or any ability, if you want to feel, sense the spirit around or see more, feel them around, know that they're around, ask them for help. I mean, as much as you will learn in classes and as much as you read in books, that's a great way. But also knowing that you have your own spirit team, right? You have your own spirit team and guides that are helping you out, your unseen friends, your loved ones, your departed loved ones. So know that they're there to help you. So please take advantage of that, meaning that's what they want to do. And you're not slowing them down or not giving them something that they wouldn't jump at the chance to help you with.
Mhm.
So please know that. Please ask for help.
Yes, great idea. So should we keep going and bring in people on?
Yeah, definitely. Let's do another one for sure.
So I'm gonna bring Sis on.
Oh my goodness.
Hi,
Hi, ladies. Can you hear me?
we can.
Yes.
And is your name Sis?
No, it's Christy.
Okay, thank you, Christy. I like to write names. How can we help you today?
I'm really hoping to hear from someone really special.
Is
Passed
this
away
can you
within
give
this
a
last year.
relationship? No names, just relationship.
I'm sorry.
Can you give us the relationship? Not no names, just the relationship of the person you want to hear from.
My
we can
dad.
go direct.
Oh, I wrote down father. You can't see it. I don't know.
Oh.
Can you guys see it? You can't see it.
No, it's just like
You can't see it with the green screen. But
Cheryl,
it says
why is it doing
Christy,
that?
father.
That's awesome.
This guy is the man, everybody's dad. That's what I'm feeling. Like this is like dad of the month or best dad of the year type of feeling.
Aw.
Did you help him also when he got older, please? Are you helping him when he gets older, please, sis?
Um,
Or Christy? Sorry.
I'm sorry. What did you mean by that?
Like, did you help him like get by? Because I feel like he had a problem walking or something. And so I just feel like maybe you were around helping him.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to tell you, this man has the most beautiful big smile. Like there's a picture of you and him with this beaming smile. And you were with him when he passes. Is that right, Christy?
Yeah.
Because he says she helped me pass. So I just want to let you know. And he goes, you know what?
Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Oh my God.
Hello, spirit.
That was so weird. I was trying to make sure my phone was on Do Not Disturb because I heard it buzz. Sorry.
That's okay. It's a school bell. But we take everything sometimes as a sign from spirit. But and he's waving the flag. He's waving the flag. Would you understand that, Christy? Like, was he pretty patriotic?
Yeah, he was in quite a few things.
Yeah, and I'm sure lots of things. But I want to tell you that he says he's never left you. And there's a ring that you have of his. Is that right?
He's given me a lot of
Oh,
rings.
lots of rings. Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like he either read a lot to you when you were a child, or there's a lot about reading with your father.
Yep.
And that he's telling me like you read to him. Isn't that adorable? Like you read to him now. And I want to tell you that I feel like in some way either he was on the fence about where he was going when he was passing. Does that make sense?
He was in a coma.
In a coma. Very good. So I'm sorry about that, but it's like I was on the fence like before I pass, but I definitely passed, or I definitely know, make sure that she knows I'm okay. I think that's the important thing, right?
Yeah.
And that you are his little girl and you're his everything. And I feel like he had a nickname for you, but it hasn't really dropped in yet. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna make like Boopy or something with the B. I don't know. I don't know, something with the B name. And also, I felt a pet that you have on the other side, please. Like,
Hmm.
do you guys have a dog over there, please? And
Yeah.
your dad, and you may have more than one.
Yep.
But just to tell you, let me just feel with your dad. I'm going to hand it over to Kelly. Um, I think your dad's your biggest cheerleader, and he wants you to kind of keep going, because he's the guy that would wipe your tears from your eyes, or he's the guy that would make you feel better. Your father would always be there cheering you on. And I just want to say that he's going to catch you. So don't worry, like take more chances in life because he's going to catch you. You're not going to fall. He's got you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'll hand it to Kelly and ask her if she.
Yeah, so Christy, I get everything that Cheryl's getting and so much, I mean, I just feel your daddy just feels like such an amazing soul. But was he a little bit stubborn?
Very stubborn.
That's what I'm getting is like he's like, "Don't forget how stubborn I was." So, I feel like he's funny, but I don't feel like he was, like, stubborn mean because there's, like, people
Yeah.
that are stubborn mean. I feel like he was more stubborn, like, funny, and, like, he didn't like to give in when he knew he was wrong,
Yep.
but your dad had a good soul. He really, I feel like, wasn't perfect, but he meant well in everything that he did. Do you understand that?
I do.
Yeah, he had a big heart, and I feel like, he was very giving to everyone, his friends and everything.
Yeah. He was more giving than he didn't take much from anybody. He gave.
Right. Yeah, and, he didn't want to be the one asking, he wanted to give. That was
Yep.
just the way he was. It made
Wow.
him feel better.
That's him.
Yeah. He just loves you so much. I just feel like he's very, very proud of you.
Thank you guys.
You're
Uh,
welcome. Thank you for waiting, and I'm gonna put you back in the back room. Thank you.
Thanks.
I I feel like you're his angel or something like
Oh,
that. That's what I just
that's
feel.
so pretty. That's nice,
Yeah.
Carol.
Yeah.
So we have about, I don't know what it's about. It's coming up
Yeah.
on the 15 hour and
I
15.
know we need to kind of wrap things up, but we'll be back next Wednesday, and we'll be answering more questions, and we'll be taking more calls, and we'll be certainly encouraging everyone to join us again live if you can, or watch the replay. If you want to, please be a part of our community at seeingbeyondradio.com, where you can join our mailing list and maybe watch some of our previous shows. Also, Kelly and I post our radio show on our YouTube pages along with WLTK. So thank you for that. And you can always reach out to Kelly and be on her newsletter at mediumkelly.com. And I'm mediumcheryl.com. And Kelly, before we go, can you tell us about any upcoming events you have and what's happening with you?
Well, yeah, next month I have, an online small group reading where everybody gets a reading. And if you're in Sacramento, I have one in person as well. I also have next week my drop in, development circle on Tuesday night. It's online. It's an hour and a half. It's at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. And I will be giving everybody exercises to practice and develop and learn. So if you're interested in learning and if you're a beginner, you're welcome to join because what happens is on the groups, I work with the beginners and then the advanced do the exercises. So everybody's welcome. It's a lot of fun. And I hope to see you guys there, hopefully, if you want to learn. And Cheryl?
Can I tell everyone that in just about an hour, I'll be doing a fundraising event online, and tickets are still available. It's myself with medium Jules Davis and medium Lima Bergman. We're 100% of the ticket sales are going to the breast cancer angels. So tickets are really reasonable. I believe they're $25. If you buy a second one, you can buy one for $15. If you can't make the event, you can still buy tickets and just be reassured that we'll still donate that money to the breast cancer angels. That ticket link is Spirit Love spiritlove1019, because today's October 19th, spiritlove1019.eventbrite.com. I'd love to see you there. And you're going to have me and Jules and Lima for 2 hours. And the money goes to a great, great cause. And that's this evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Three
And
amazing mediums too. It's
yeah,
worth
three
the money.
wonderful mediums. And then also this coming Friday, I'm doing my Circle of Love small group reading event. So if you'd love to sit with me and just a few other people online, we'll be doing an online circle. And that link is circleofloveoctober.eventbrite.com. But of course, guys can always find out more information about me and Kelly on both of our events page. And we try to post Facebook, post on social media, send out emails. We so appreciate our Seeing Beyond Radio community. And I just want to say thank you for being with us. Kelly, do you want to say goodbye to everyone?
Thank you, everybody. I love you all. I appreciate all the support. We'll be back next week. Check out our events. And thank you for all the support.
Thank you again. Namaste, everyone.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTKDB.com.